Some films will build their tension with explosions, monsters, or genuine lore. Exam doesn't. It does something far simpler. It just puts people in the same place at the same time and then shines a light on them. Pretty simple, right? No. Let's see what makes Exam cult, actually. The background of the story is mostly told in shadows. They're in the middle of a pandemic. There is a cure for the disease, but it's in short supply. Not because it's been withheld, it's just that the demand is greater than can be handled. A pharmaceutical company has an opening in a top position. It's been highly sought after because it comes with certain perks, access to the medicine being needed to keep you alive being one of them. The group that we're following are the best of the candidates. They've just got this one final exam to get through. The film takes the final 8 and puts them in one room and gives them a piece of paper. A suited man tells them they can't spoil the piece of paper, leave the room or talk to the guard, or they'll be disqualified.
Any questions?
They have 80 minutes in which to answer one question. The suited man then leaves. As the countdown starts, the group begins to wonder if the first test isn't about answering the question, it's discovering it. That's when the fun begins. At first there's confusion in the air. They've been told there is a question, but the papers have been given a blank. They assume that part of the final test shows some innovative way to find the question. They play around with the rules, cautiously, testing the boundaries of the situation. They can't talk to the guard, but they cautiously work out they can freely talk to each other. It's not long before one of the group cracks under the pressure, and they're ejected from the room with no messing about, proving to the group how serious this is. Working together, they begin to test their theories on what it all means and start looking for clues about what is needed from them, looking for loopholes or tricks to the system they can exploit. Nothing is off the table. Vandalism, bodily fluids, and even setting off fire extinguishers seem like viable choices. But nothing they do seems to work. Slowly, they begin to turn on each other. A clear alpha of the pack emerges, taunting the others, trying to provoke any reaction they can get. First and foremost, trying to get them to quit out of the group of their own accord. Eventually, even claims to have worked out what the question is, but refusing to share. In his mind, the real test isn't cooperation, it's elimination. It's all done quite calmly at first, little snide remarks or accusations about each other's motivations. As the clock ticks away and the pressure begins to mount, what started off as little digs to each other becomes more. The closer they get to the end of the exam, the more the violence escalates. Exam isn't about intelligence, it's about pressure. What happens when you put highly competitive people in a room and leave them to it? When they begin to realise it's not their mental prowess that's going to get them their dream job. And well, hopefully, these people aren't staring back at you when you look in the mirror. The film slowly but surely begins to strip away the idea that this is a puzzle to be solved and instead becomes a study of fear, ego and control. Who deserves a job? Who's willing to do what to get the job? There's no music to push the tension, no flashy endings again, no grand reveal every few minutes. It's almost achingly slow in parts, just glances and silences. The film is actually playing out in real time. The clock is telling you and them how long they've got left to answer the question. It's a neat trick, it draws you in and you find yourself asking the same questions about what they can try next. There are some leaps of faith along the way and the time and the moods are well exaggerated. Arguments in the room tend to escalate quickly. These aren't the kind of people who admit they're failing easily. And this is where Exam begins to earn its cult status. It understands something uncomfortable. It's like that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you go for a job interview and you get asked that question. The one you don't quite know how to answer. That's the emotional level you're at watching this film. Most people don't crack when they're tested on their knowledge, they crack when they're tested on restraint and patience. By the time the film lets a question be answered, it's almost irrelevant. Exam was never trying to be loud or dazzle you with brilliance. It's a bottle film in the purest sense. You never leave that room. There is no world beyond it, just the people inside and the clock on the wall. You don't have to like them, you don't have to agree with them, but you are trapped in there with them. And that's why it lingers. Not because of the question or the answer, but because of what they become while trying to find it. Quietly brilliant and brutal. Anyways, I've been Paul and Exam is cult, actually. If you like this video, then do me a favour and drop me a line. Subscribe as well if you want while you're there. Or don't, I'm not going anywhere and hopefully I'll catch you on the next rewind. Thanks for watching.